Everybody, Tim here for another Star Wars video. So, as you can tell, there's nobody here with me. I am doing Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I tried, I really tried to get somebody, I called everybody and they were like, yeah, nope. Or they would be worse and they were like, yeah, I'll do it, and then never came. So, the sequel trilogy, it is what it is. We'll talk about it as we come. So, I'm going to do this video for just episode 7, as if episodes 8 and 9 have not come out, they don't exist. We're just talking about episode 7. So, I mean, I was super not excited when they announced it. I'm not going to lie, that's how I am. So, this is just my opinion, this is coming from where I am. I am not a J.J. Abrams fan. So, if you guys haven't seen my Star Trek or Star Trek Into Darkness videos, I'm not a JJ fan. So, it is what it is. So, when they were like, he's directing episode 7, I was like, fuck, here we go. So, I mean, the funny thing is his, after he did Into Darkness and before he did The Force Awakens, he had announced on Twitter or something, his wife was like, stop with the lens flare, for the love of God. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll get less lens flare. And we do. We get less lens flare in this one. So I was like, that's great. So overall, this movie by itself is very nostalgic. I remember seeing it in theaters with one of my best friends, Trevor, and we were super excited. And I mean, there are parts of it that are great. There are parts of it that just appeal to you for pure nostalgia. And then there are parts that set it up, and there are parts that let you down. So, for me, I'm gonna get this out of the way. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about episodes 8 or 9 at all. But my biggest complaint for this whole trilogy is that they knew it was a trilogy, and they didn't write episodes 7, 8, and 9 at the exact same time, film them at the exact same time, like Peter Jackson doing Lord of the Rings. Just do it all at once and release it. That would have been the smart move to do. Instead, they wrote this one and made the movie. And then they wrote the next one and they made the movie. And then they wrote the next one and they made the movie. And it doesn't work. And it doesn't. It is what it is. It becomes the hot mess that we come up with. So this movie as a whole, setting things up that never pay off, really pissed me off. So, but I did enjoy it. So, one of the first things that really kind of annoyed me is Max von Sydow. Fantastic fucking actor. Great actor. Why is he in this? Other than a cameo, but his whole thing and his line of to me, she'll always be royalty. Why? We never, he's a nameless character. We never find out who he is. We never find out why he was in it. We get nothing. So the whole thing, already, I'm a little frustrated. In that same scene, watching Kylo Ren catch a fucking, phaser bolt and hold it there. Having a conversation, doing this, doing that, and the phaser bolt's just sitting there, that's amazing. I'm like, dude, that is a badass. I'm okay with this. The Finn-Poe relationship, fuck it, I don't care. So many people want them to be gay. I'm fine. If they had done that, 100% I would have been okay with it. They didn't, okay. Again, one of my first problems, Poe Dameron has died because they crash landed, whatever. When he comes back at the end, it is so Deus Ex Machina, it literally feels shoehorned in there. Which is one of my problems with J.J. Abrams' writing. It's just, again, to go back to Star Trek, if you go watch the Star Trek review, I talk about it, Kirk, of course, lands on the one planet that has not just Spock, but Scotty at the exact same time, miraculously. J.J. Abrams relies too much on everything working out just perfect. And this is Poe Dameron dying and then coming back. R2-D2 has been dormant for years and then magically pops awake right when you need him to. Stuff like that does not work for me. I don't like it. The one scene that really I did cheer, I remember in the theater when they're like, oh no, that ship is garbage. Okay, the garbage will work. And they turn and it's the Millennium Falcon. I cheered, I'll admit it, I loved it, thought it was great. Han Solo talking about like, oh, it was 14 parsecs. Literally, like I remember it was almost like Rocky Horror. If you've ever seen Rocky Horror live, the entire theater was like, it's 12 parsecs. And then Han Solo was like, 12. And I was like, that's fantastic. It was great. The giant CGI aliens is it's a sign that we have crossed into the 21st century and we don't give a fuck about using like real things, miniatures, whatever. We'll animate it. Snoke didn't really make an impression on me one way or the other. I'll admit, it fooled me for that split second when he pops up and you're like, oh God, he's massive. And then he flickered and you're like, it's a fucking hologram. And I was like, okay, they got me. I'll admit it, they got me. One of the big things that I do feel like JJ had set up was when Rey tells her name, Han recognizes her. I don't care what anybody says. Han's like, Rey. Interesting. Like, he knows who she is. They had set it up and didn't do anything with it. So I was like, okay, whatever. Maz is fun with the Anakin's lightsaber. It was kind of cute. Hux's speech. God damn. Like, that was a speech. And you see, like, I count at least 5 planets getting destroyed. After watching Star Wars Resistance, you now know one of those planets was Kaz's homeworld. So that was kind of interesting. I remember in the theater, again, I was thinking one of them looked like Coruscant. So I was like, okay. But still, like, they do that at the halfway point in the movie. I was like, fuck. Like, that's some balls right there. The Traitor Battle is always just kind of a favorite because just seeing Finn fight with the lightsaber. Like I said, Poe magically coming alive, it is what it is. C-3PO steals the whole fucking movie. Where it's like, you probably don't recognize me because I have a red arm. And so that was fun. It was great to see C-3PO. Seeing Leia again, I squealed, my eyes watered. It's fantastic. So probably my favorite moment of this movie. So my husband, Jordan, hates Star Wars. Not a big Star Wars fan. But I drag him to see movies with me. He doesn't like the Marvel movies, but he's seen every single one of them, stuff like that. So we're watching this movie, and we finally get to the point where Kylo Ren takes off his helmet, and in the middle of the theater, fucking dead quiet, Jordan's like, he's fucking ugly. Can he put it back on? And I was like, are you serious? And like, oh my God, it was so embarrassing. It was so funny at the exact same time. I was like, okay, it is what it is. So that whole thing is, I mean, seeing Kylo take the helmet off, him being like Kylo Skywalker Solo, not a surprise. They didn't even try. It is what it is. Whatever. So, I mean, we get that. Them like, oh, how do we destroy Starkiller? Well, we have to shoot this little bitty hole. Okay, so it's the exact same as the Death Star. Got it. I mean, this whole entire movie is just a remake of A New Hope. Let's be honest here. One of the scenes, like, so Finn, I try to like him, but then there are the parts where he's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And they're trying to be funny. It's not funny. It's just annoying, and it just doesn't really work for me. Han dying, not a fucking surprise. Han, like, Harrison Ford didn't even want to do episode 6. Like, that's why he was frozen in carbonite, is so they could just kill off the character. So, I mean, the entire thing, him dying was not a surprise, but it was at the exact same time. It was really sad. So, I don't know. It's just, it was heartbreaking. The whole movie was just kind of heartbreaking, because you're like, you have all these hopes built up. We haven't seen a Star Wars movie since like 2003. And now we got all these people we don't even know, and they're fucking killing the old people. So I was like, oh, what's happening? Like, they have a plan. It's all part of... They don't have a plan. That's what made it even more heartbreaking. Seeing Luke at the end was great. I did like his hand. I'm not going to lie. The fact that it was just a robot hand and not a glove, I loved it. And I think I remember reading, I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me, that Mark Hamill at that point was the exact same age as Alec Guinness was in episode 4. So I was like, oh, it's a sign. But still, like, it leaves so many doors open, and I was super excited. Not a favorite, but I did enjoy it. It was not as bad as it could have been, not as good as it could have been. It's a J.J. Abrams movie, right in the middle. So, I don't know. I'm curious what other people think. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I'm trying not to build it up, but I'm not trying to tear it down. Because I know what comes later. So it is kind of right in the middle. So, thank you guys for watching. I know there's a lot of strong feelings when it comes to this movie. So, let me know what you guys think. I really look forward to discussing in the comments. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time for episode 8.